Hi, I'm Becky Tassel, the Marketing Director at PropLogix.
And I'm Scott Merritt, Executive Director for the Florida Land Title Association.
And today we're here to talk about our favorite thing, and no, it's not wine.
We are at a lovely wine bar in Sarasota, and this is a glass of Keynote from Oregon.
Amazing. I'm drinking some Cabernet, and it is delicious.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, we're here today to talk about conferences and trade shows, something that we both know incredibly well and love. We've attended many ourselves as attendees, vendors, and even as the organizers of the entire event. So Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about your history with conferences and trade shows?
Of course. So I have had the ability to attend many as an attendee. I have had the opportunity to exhibit at several. We partnered with our underwriters in the past year, and attending even their agent seminars and having table booths has been great for the association, but also just in terms of interaction with our members and the industry at large. And then, of course, we have our own convention, and I've been able to help put that on past couple of years, which has been a lot of fun. There's a lot of challenges and a lot of orchestration that goes on. At the end of the day, as long as everyone has fun, leaves with smiles, feels motivated, encouraged, and ready to hit the ground when they get home, then I think it's a win.
So ALTA One's coming up in a couple of short weeks, and we're really excited about that one. I know that you'll be there, and so will I, but in what capacity do you plan on attending? What's your purpose of being there?
So for me, even connecting with other state leaders, we do so much at the state level here in Florida, and there's so much happening across state lines and other areas. The federal laws, the balance and changes of TRID, the interaction with CFPB. There's just so much that is outside of our state lines. What better place to hear, to learn, and understand the impact to our industry. And then above all is I want to be able to be a resource for our members.
Exactly.
And speaking of, the other component is I want to be there with our members at ALTA One. So I always look forward to that interaction and the opportunity to see them in a different light from FLTA.
What are your recommendations to those attendees that are traveling to these shows to make sure they're getting the most out of it?
Wow, recommendations. So I would first say come with an open mind. There may be a topic and you may be extremely knowledgeable in it, but come with an open mind. You might hear something a different way that you didn't understand the first time. You study the agenda, who's speaking when, and the topics.
Yeah, that's so important to know who's speaking. If you've seen them before, it doesn't mean that they're giving the same content that they have in the past, and just understanding what different topics are even trending in the market right now that you should be educating yourself on.
Right, and there is so much happening. You look at the fast pace of online notary and expansion well beyond 20 states now. Florida being one in January.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic.
Yeah. Blockchain, cybersecurity.
Right. Fraud is a huge topic at these seminars. I know a lot of people are starting to get tired of hearing about it, but it's not going away.
No, it's not.
It's growing, and what we need to be aware of is that there are many different areas for penetration, and we have to be ready.
And of course, some shows provide the attendee list, which is incredibly valuable from a networking perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can go and find a list and figure out who you want to not target but network with, who you want to reach out to, maybe you find a similar size operation in another area and build a relationship and kind of build off of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Mentors that might be there.
Mentors.
Yeah, anybody that you want to meet up with while you're there. It's better to know in advance because these shows are so jam-packed with not only the educational sessions during the day, but the networking sessions put on during the night. And it's important that if you really want to find that time to meet up with those people, sure, you have the off chance of meeting them in the hallway, but you want to schedule that time in advance to make sure that you're going to be able to get their ear.
Yeah, and if you're going somewhere for the first time and you don't have anyone else that you're going with, you might want to take a look at that and see who you can partner with. Maybe reach out to somebody ahead of time.
As a vendor who's attending these conferences, do you have any suggestions for how they can get the most out of it?
Yeah, when I think about it from an exhibitor standpoint, it's the same thing of interaction, but a lot of times you have to create your own interaction. Meaning, if there's an education session, go join the audience.
Exactly.
Be a part of the crowd. Create those networking opportunities. And then, above all, one of my pet peeves is when folks come through, stand and be in front of your table. To sit and be behind it doesn't generate the interaction that you're wanting. And I want you to have a positive experience, not only for you, but for the attendees who are wanting to learn more about your company and what you offer.
I completely agree with you about booth exhibitors attending the different educational sessions, because not only is it valuable to sit in on those sessions for your own, education, but it's also an opportunity for you to have something to talk about when people do come to your booth later. You went to a session that maybe they attended or maybe they didn't, but you can either relate to them on the topic or you can provide some value to them if they missed it.
Well, not only that, so if everyone is inside of a classroom and there's no one coming to you, you want to make the most of that time.
Exactly.
And as I was saying earlier, and I want to be a resource for our members, I think it would be beneficial for you to be a resource to your clients. What happens when you go home and you're asked questions and then all of a sudden you can say, hey, I was at the FLTA conference and heard this, and here's a tidbit that you might be interested in.
Yeah.
To have that takeaway and to be able to offer that as a resource, I think is a huge value add and adds to your credibility too.
Networking as a vendor is its own beast. Whether you're attending other events or you're hosting your own. And in this particular industry, it is all about relationship building. So you want to get that one-on-one time that's outside of those educational sessions where you can really just get to know someone. It doesn't really matter if you're talking business in those situations. It's just about getting to know their kids' names and what they like to do and who they are. And so it's a balance between finding the opportunity to be invited to other events that are going on, because there's major competition. As we know, these shows only last a couple of days, and there's a lot of people that are willing to host some events and get people there for that very reason. So it's definitely something to look at as a vendor as to whether or not it would be more valuable for you to host something of your own or to be in attendance if you've been invited to enough opportunities to be able to network with the people that are going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it is hands down all about relationship. It's not the time to cold sell. You're there, yes, to push your company or push your product, but to be able to make that relationship and make it last beyond that week, that's the end goal.
Another thing that people could leverage to get the most out of attending these trade shows is joining committees. I know you personally are part of a lot of them yourself.
I am.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the number one initiative with the conventions and conferences is education. Outside the box, again, is those committees and the involvement that goes in. It's understanding what happens, but be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's volunteer. You get out of the association what you put into it. FLTA, we have our own conferences. I know state associations across the country have theirs committees. ALTA has theirs. So I would encourage any level and any location, whatever your profession is get involved in your local trade association. Get involved on the committee level. Be a part of the conversation.
Scott, I know you guys have your annual convention coming up just a few short weeks after ALTA.
Yeah, let's see here. It's about 3 weeks after ALTA, November 11, 12, and 13.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, no, wheels up, clear skies ahead. This year we're going to have Hernando de SOTO. He's an economist from Peru.
Oh, okay.
And spoke at ALTA many years ago, but has rave reviews. And he really puts the exclamation point of why our industry does what our industry does. Doing the background checks of the property records, validating everything and all the steps that we do to ensure title. It is just, I'm super excited to have him.
Oh yeah, we can't wait to see the keynote this year.
Yeah, he'll be fun. And then we have about 7 different CE opportunities for the attendees.
That's great.
We're going to have a fun night. PropLogic stepped up again this year.
Absolutely, the celebration night.
Our celebration
Can't
night
miss
is going to be a lot of fun. And so we can't really disclose what
No,
we're
we're
doing
going to
yet.
keep the details on the down low. There's going to be some element of surprise.
Some surprise. But it's going to be fun, a lot of engagement, a lot of...
Anything that you and I have a part in planning is obviously going to be a good time.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, all seriousness aside,
All right.
what are some of your biggest pet peeves when it comes to these trade shows?
Oh, biggest pet peeves. I would say exhibitors come outside of the box, come outside of your booth, network, meet people, create your own atmosphere.
So it drives you nuts when they just stay in their little booth.
Well, it doesn't drive me nuts, but I want them to have a good experience and a good takeaway.
For someone who organizes the events as well, you want people to take advantage of the opportunities that are there, you know, and you can only provide so much as the organizer, and then somebody needs to take the reins themselves to make sure that they're getting the most out of the investment of being there themselves.
Right. And then the other part is to come with an open mind. You come with an open mind, you hear things differently, you're not shelled up. You know, when you come out of a session and your first response was, oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But really, was it, or was it just not what you wanted to hear?
There are opportunities. This industry is so small, and there are so many opportunities, and there's so much knowledge to be had at these conferences that you have to take advantage of every single conversation that you can have. There's something that you can learn from everybody.
Yeah, well, and success drives competitiveness, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, we want our competition to be doing well, so we do well.
Oh, it pushes everybody forward.
It's a self-driver.
Absolutely. When you come and you make a splash at these conferences and you do something a little bit different and you get keynote speakers that are going to get everybody, you know, all amped up, and you kind of set the bar higher, everybody else starts setting the bar higher. And as a whole, we're making the industry better. Well, Scott, thank you so much for being here today. I honestly can't thank you enough for your insight. I know it's incredibly valuable for us to be able to have the conversation with you, and hopefully just as valuable for all of our customers and audience watching. And seeing as our wine's almost gone, I think it's time that we cut ourselves off.
I suppose that's true.
But it's been fun.
Thank you for having me and for the invitation. Truly enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel right now, don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget, if you're a agency or agent, join us, FLTA.org. Thank you. Just enjoy your wine.
Yeah, I'm going to actually.
Okay.
So Scott.
Yes, Becky.
Yes.
She's like, you're talking too much.
No.
I'm just...
That's what that means.
So I'll just say, so as a vendor attending these conferences, you know, what suggestions do you have for them to get the most out of it?
I don't know really.
As a vendor, I'm gonna do these things.
That's gonna... Sorry.
We're gonna need you to bring it down a notch.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Should we do it again? That was solid.